giraffe out of punches. I'm really excited to share with you some exciting news. I've decided to do an online punch class. So if you like my punch animals and creations that I've done, I'm doing a 20-day class for $20, and it's going to be 20 animals with 20 videos and 20 PDFs. So it's going to be so much fun. It starts March 1st. If you want to check out my blog at www.stampwithheather.ca, you can go there for all the details. In the meantime, we are going to make a giraffe. And so what we're going to do here is we have a 5/8 of an inch piece of summer sun that's 2 inches long, and the same thing in ruby red. We have 4 ruby red word windows. We have 4 summer sun word windows. We have 2 chocolate chip word windows. We have a ruby red body in the wide oval and a wide oval summer sun. And then we have one of the trio flowers in the ruby red, just a sliver of a piece of summer sun for the tail. And now the head is actually done using the large heart punch. So what we're going to do is we took the heart punch, and then I actually fed through in the heart here, I fed it into the punch backwards. And so what I ended up doing was just punching the head to make an oval. It's just because our oval was too long and skinny. But for the giraffe's muzzle, I want an even smaller piece, but I need it to be the same size. So I'm just going to put my blush blossom heart in the punch, give it a squeeze, and I actually now have the muzzle that'll be the same angle for my giraffe face. So I'll be right back and we'll assemble this card. Okay, to begin with, I'm going to just use our yellow pieces here. So I've got my legs, my neck, and my body. And what I'm going to do is actually punch holes. So I've got a 1/16 inch, a 1/8, and then a 1/4 inch circle punch. And I'm actually just going to punch some holes in it. I don't want very many of the big ones. I'm just actually going to do one. And why I'm punching the holes is these are actually going to be the giraffe spots that poke through when we assemble our giraffe. So I've got my holes, and then these are going to be mounted onto my ruby red, so that's what pokes through when we assemble our body. So I'm going to do that exact same technique on all 4 legs and the neck, and I'll be right back. Okay, so to attach the punched out pieces onto the ruby red, all I'm going to do is just using my 2-way glue pen, which is my favorite tool for punched animals, is just color on the back side of the summer sun, and then I'm just going to stick that onto the ruby red word window, and I've got myself my leg. So I've got my 4 legs done and my body, and I'll do the same thing on the neck. Now what I need to do is I need to make the little feet on our giraffes. So I've got my chocolate chip word windows, and now all I'm going to do is actually just trim off the end, and I've just got myself a little hoof, is that what it's called for a giraffe? So I'm going to do that on all 4, and I'll glue those on, and I've got myself my giraffe feet. Okay, so you can see here we're ready to assemble our head. So I've got my heart punched summer sun, and then my blush blossom kind of muzzle that will draw a little smiley face on in a bit. So I'll stick this down so it matches up. And now I have punched out, using my 1/4 inch circle punch. I just made a little eyeball. So I'll stick that on here. And now I have a couple of these little strips of summer sun. So I'm just going to, they're about maybe 1/8 of an inch thick. And I'm just going to run a line of 2-way glue down. And this will be the, I don't know what they're called, the ears? Gosh, I don't know much about animals, do I? I just put those kind of above the head. And I'm going to trim them off to where I want the balls to rest. And then I'll just put my little 2-way glue here. And then again, using the 1/4 inch circle punch, I punched out 2 of these circles in summer sun. And I've got myself my little giraffe. Let's call them antenna, but I don't even know what they are. There we go. My fingers are a bit sticky. And now I can glue this down onto my neck, and we'll draw our face in. I'm going to do the same thing here with my tail. I'm going to glue on the trio flower and stick that onto the back of my giraffe. Okay, so the last step in assembling our giraffe is we're going to make a mane for him. So I'm using a strip of the Riding Hood Red grosgrain ribbon, and when you cut your ribbon, you're going to get a loose end, and when you pull that loose end, your ribbon's going to fray. So you can see there that it's just all coming apart. So once I'm maybe half an inch down, I'm just going to cut that off. And now what you're going to do, and I've run a line of adhesive just on the back side of my giraffe, is I'm just going to lay this onto my giraffe. And kind of once it's there, you're stuck with what you've done. And I have two pieces, so you need two widths of it to get the full mane. And now I've got myself my giraffe made with punches, full out with a mane. And what I'm going to do now is just assemble him on a box. So I use the Stampin' Up! Big Shot die box, and I've just got a strip of the Designer Series paper Good Morning Sunshine and a strip here of chocolate chip, and I'm just going to stick my giraffe on my box, and I'll show you the finished product.